Satnam, around 3 years ago, I was invited to give a speech at the Kumbh Mela. I accepted very humbly. I went over there to give my lecture, and as I was waiting for my turn to come, there was another guru, another Baba on the stage who was giving his lecture. Now, the important thing about his lecture was the last 15 minutes of his speech was about how donation, giving charity is so good for us. And he kept pointing at the box in front of him, and I kept telling people, exhorting people that you have to put something inside there because your life depends upon it, your karmas depend upon it. And he just went on and on and on and on. There were 20,000 people there. At the end of his speech, I asked somebody about him, and I found out that he owned 4 luxury hotels. As a guru, as a godman, as a Baba, he was the owner of 4 luxury hotels in that part of India. Our choice of teachers defines us because our teachers really show us the path. Our teachers, our gurus. I am a product of so many teachers in my life, and I'm really grateful to all of them. How we choose our teachers will make us wise or will make us in that category of followers for the rest of our lives. There is another story I have of a teacher in Rishikesh. Every time he gives a lecture, there are 500 people there. I was really excited. I went to one of them and somebody asked him a question, which normally I would have answered in like 2 or 3 lines. And that answer went on and on and on for like 30 and 40 minutes. And after some time, I went to sleep. When I woke up, there was another question. Again, he started. Again, I went to sleep. I went back to my ashram where I was staying, and I said, maybe there was something wrong with me. And because, he has millions of followers all over the world, how could his lecture be so boring? So I went again. I went again the next day. And the same thing happened. I went to sleep. But this time, I was smart. I woke up and I looked around. Out of 500 people, I counted at least 30 people who were sleeping. There was nothing wrong with me. Some people create these followers by intellectualizing a very simple solution to a very common problem. The problem could be a common one. The solution could be a simple one, but they will intellectualize it, look so intelligent, look so wise, and say, oh my God, look at that answer. There's nothing to look at. The other thing I want to tell you about teachers is when I'm choosing a teacher, I'm really particular about how they look. Yeah, it's not about fashion, it's not about good looks, or it's not about that. It's about a glow on the skin. It's about a shine in the eyes. You can make out the aura when you look at the person. My teacher, one of my biggest inspirations is Swami Dayanand Saraswati. If I saw Swami Dayanand Saraswati a kilometer away, I promise you I would start crying. It happened to me many times. I would just start crying looking at him. That's how healing his aura was. And when he started speaking, I wanted to hang on to every word of his like it was a pearl of wisdom dropping into the ocean. And I wanted to grab as much of it as possible. That's how inspiring he was. That's how hypnotizing he was. That's how magnetic his aura was. And that's how a teacher should be. Before I discovered Kundalini Yoga, I was looking for different forms of yoga to practice. I was looking for different styles, and I wanted to commit myself for 30 days, for 40 days, for 50 days to just learn something which would really help me for the rest of my life. One of my searches on Google led me to this ashram in Goa, where this international teacher was supposed to come, and it was really expensive course for 30 days. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to do this. And I was about to pay. It was decided that we thought about it for 2 days, the schedule, my shooting schedule and all of that. And I said, no, I'm doing it. And then I said, let me Google this guy who I'm supposed to be learning with. I Googled him. And when his photo came up, I'm sorry to put it bluntly, but he looked like an AIDS patient. He looked like he was about to die. He had these really sunken eyes. His cheeks were like drawn in. And he looked like somebody who was about to die after 5 minutes. I said, whatever he's teaching, I don't want to learn. If that is his aura, I'm glad I saw this before I paid, because otherwise I would have had to ask for a refund. I'm not even going and wasting my time, even if I have paid. Your teacher defines you. Your teacher shows you the path which you need to follow what it is that you need to do to get to where you should go, shows you the path towards Samadhi, towards Moksha, towards enlightenment. You can't make a mistake about something like that. If you are finding someone who doesn't look inspiring, who doesn't speak in a speech that inspires you, if you are looking at somebody who doesn't have a shining, radiant aura, what it is that he has that he can possibly give you? The last example I want to give you is that of a yoga festival that I went to. And I had read this long, thing about this teacher, this long description given about this teacher, and it was a very impressive description. So out of the 6 other classes I could have gone for, I went half an hour early, and I stood in the class. I've made my mat, and I sat down waiting for this teacher, and I was meditating. And then when I opened my eyes and I looked towards the gate, I saw this teacher walking towards the class, and I saw the picture. I said, "It's her," and I quickly rolled up my mat and I ran away. Whatever she was teaching, I didn't want to learn. Your choice of teacher defines you. I'm repeating it again. Your choice of teacher will make you who you are. If you have chosen wisely, you will experience heaven and bliss on this planet right now. If you make the wrong decision, you will be like somebody who's drowning and is seeing a straw and is clutching at the straw, hoping that straw will help you from not drowning. Don't clutch at straws. Look for the real thing, find the real thing, and then follow that person for the rest of your life. I hope you find a guru. I've had many. I've been blessed with many. And it's been my greatest blessing that God has given me. These wonderful teachers. Hope you find your teacher. Wishing you well. Satnam.